and the tides of darkness. The islands of the eastern seas had always thrived in peace, protected by ancient legends and guarded by creatures of myth. But now, whispers of darkness spread across the waters, and shadows loomed over once safe shores. A powerful sorcerer had emerged, wielding forbidden magic to bend creatures and islands to his will, enslaving those who dared resist. In the kingdom of Eldergreen, Queen Seraphine knew that only one man could confront this evil, a knight as steadfast as the tides and as fierce as the storm. Summoning her most trusted warrior, Alaric, she charged him with a mission: to sail into the heart of darkness and free the islands from their new chains. But Alaric would need allies from lands and seas unknown, and his path would test his courage and loyalty beyond measure. As the dawn rose over the shores, Alaric embarked on a journey where honor, strength, and the unity of unlikely allies would decide the fate of the islands.
Chapter 1. A Call to the Seas. Seraphine paced the throne room, her expression hard with worry as she faced Alaric, her most loyal knight. Alaric knelt before her, his silver armor catching the light, and his long white hair framing his chiseled face.
"The islands need our help, Alaric,"
she began, her voice heavy.
"Darkness stirs in the eastern seas, a malevolent force that's taken hold of the islands and enslaved their people."
Alaric rose, his gray eyes reflecting fierce determination.
"Tell me what I must do, my queen. But what is it we're up against?"
Seraphine handed him a map, dotted with islands marked in crimson ink.
"A dark sorcerer has seized control, twisting creatures of myth into monstrous shadows. Only someone with your skill and resolve can rally the islanders and fight this evil."
Alaric bowed his head.
"Then I shall leave at dawn. I will return with freedom for the seas."
Chapter 2. The Phantom Gale. The open sea thrashed under a storm like none Alaric had seen. His ship, the Silver Wind, battled through crashing waves as lightning cracked above. The crew clung to the ropes, fear etched in their eyes as the wind howled around them.
"Steady yourselves,"
Alaric called, gripping the ship's mast as his long cloak whipped in the gale. Just then, a shadow rose from the water, a massive serpent, its scales glistening black and silver, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Rhogar, a seasoned warrior from the coastal villages, stepped forward. Rhogar was a burly man with bronzed skin and dark hair braided with beads from battles past. He raised his harpoon, his voice booming.
"That's no ordinary sea creature, Alaric. It's the Draken, a beast that legends say only rises for war."
Alaric raised his sword, steel gleaming in the storm's glow.
"Then let us show it we are no ordinary fighters. Stand firm, men."
As Rhogar and the crew battled the monstrous serpent, Alaric leaped forward, his blade cutting through the storm as he struck the creature, finally sending it back into the depths. The crew cheered, but Alaric knew this was only the beginning. Chapter 3. Allies from the Deep. Days later, Alaric's ship reached the island of Eldershore, where he hoped to find allies among the merfolk. The shores were eerily quiet, with strange symbols etched in the sand. As Alaric disembarked, a figure emerged from the waves. Lyros was young, with skin that shimmered like sea foam and eyes as clear as the morning tide. His dark blue hair fell past his shoulders, and a delicate crown of coral rested on his head. Lyros glanced around nervously, before speaking.
"Please,"
he said in a voice that sounded like a soft rush of water.
"Our people are cursed to serve the Dark One's bidding. Free us from his grasp, and we will fight at your side."
Alaric extended his hand, his voice gentle but firm.
"Your people deserve freedom, Lyros. Join us, and together we shall break this curse."
Lyros's eyes sparkled with hope.
"Then let the seas rise against him. We stand with you, Alaric."
With the merfolk joining them, Alaric's crew grew stronger, their numbers bolstered by those who knew the seas as well as they knew the wind. Chapter 4. The Cursed Isle. They reached the Isle of Shadows, where twisted forests clawed toward the sky and shadowy figures lurked in the mist. The crew felt the air grow colder as they marched through the eerie terrain, their breaths visible in the chill. Rhogar looked around, his face grim.
I've faced beasts on the cliffs and the shores, but this place, it's cursed.
Alaric gripped his sword tightly.
Stay alert. We're here to find the Ember Phoenix. Its flames are said to burn away any curse.
As they ventured deeper, a fiery cry pierced the darkness. High above, a bird of blazing fire swooped down, its eyes fierce and unyielding. The phoenix spread its wings, flames licking at the edges as it glared at the intruders. Alaric raised his hand in a gesture of peace.
Ember Phoenix, we seek your aid to rid these islands of darkness.
The phoenix circled, eyeing him intently.
What gives you the right to demand my fire, mortal?
Alaric met its gaze.
I ask not for myself, but for those under tyranny. Lend us your flame, or these lands will fall to darkness.
The phoenix paused before bowing its head.
Then let my flames light your path.
The Ember Phoenix took its place among them, its flames a beacon in the cursed isle's gloom. Chapter 5. Aboard the Silent Tide. With the Ember Phoenix at their side, they sailed toward the final island. Alaric stood on the deck with Lyros and Rhogar, discussing their plan. Alaric laid out the map, tapping a point marked with a black seal.
We'll split our forces. Rhogar, take half the warriors and strike from the mountain pass.
Rhogar grinned, his muscles rippling.
I'll lead them as if my life depended on it. That sorcerer won't know what hit him.
Lyros nodded thoughtfully.
The merfolk will strike from below, trapping any forces that try to escape.
Alaric placed a hand on his friend's shoulder.
Then let's bring the fight to him, for the islands, for freedom.
The crew prepared their weapons, determination sparking in their eyes as they steeled themselves for the final battle. Chapter 6. The Mist of Despair. They navigated into thick mist, which hung heavy over the water, muffling their every step. The mist seemed alive, whispering taunts that wormed into their minds. Rhogar shook his head, his face pale.
This mist, it's inside my mind, Alaric.
Alaric clapped a hand on his shoulder.
Stay strong, friend. The mist is only an illusion. Remember why we fight.
Together they pressed through the mist until the shore loomed ahead, shadowed and desolate. On the cliff stood the sorcerer, his dark robes billowing as he watched them approach, eyes gleaming with cruel amusement. The sorcerer's voice rang out.
You think you can defy me? You are but insects before the power of shadows.
Alaric raised his sword, unafraid.
You have enslaved these people long enough. Today, they rise against you.
Chapter 7. The Dark Enchantment. The sorcerer summoned enchanted beasts from the shadows, each twisted creature born from his dark magic. The warriors struggled against them, their faces grim with determination. Seraphine's words echoed in Alaric's mind.
The heart of Dral can shatter any curse.
Alaric called to his allies.
Hold them back. We must reach the pendant. It's the source of his power.
Lyros and Rhogar pushed forward, clearing a path. Rhogar roared,
For the honor of Eldershore,
as they fought their way toward the sorcerer's stronghold. The sorcerer, sensing their approach, called forth a storm of shadows that spun like a vortex around him, casting bolts of dark magic that crackled through the air.
You will fall as all others have,
he sneered, hurling a bolt toward Alaric. Alaric deflected it, shouting,
Your power is built on fear. It has no hold over those who fight for freedom.
The Ember Phoenix swooped down, its fire scattering the shadows, creating an opening. Alaric lunged, aiming for the pendant as the sorcerer recoiled. Chapter 8. The Heart of the Shadows. Alaric seized the pendant, feeling a dark energy pulse through him, clouding his thoughts with despair. He staggered as the sorcerer's twisted visions filled his mind. Rhogar's voice cut through.
Alaric, break it. Don't let his darkness consume you.
With a roar, Alaric shattered the pendant, a wave of light rippling outward. The enchanted creatures froze as the dark curse lifted, their eyes clearing. The sorcerer let out a shriek of agony, his power fading as he stumbled back. Alaric raised his sword.
Your reign of shadows is over.
The sorcerer collapsed, fading into nothingness as the island trembled. Chapter 9. Freedom and the Dawn. With the sorcerer defeated, dawn broke over the islands, casting light on the waters that sparkled in newfound peace. Alaric, Rhogar, and Lyros stood together, the Ember Phoenix circling overhead, its flames a symbol of hope. Lyros placed a hand over his heart.
You have given us back our seas, Alaric. We will sing of your deeds.
Rhogar, grinning with pride, clapped Alaric's shoulder.
We'll remember this day, my friend. These islands are ours once more.
As the sun rose, Alaric looked out over the freed lands, feeling the strength of their unity. The people of the islands gathered on the shore, their faces filled with gratitude and relief. Families reunited, laughter broke through the silence, and songs of freedom echoed across the sea. Seraphine's voice lingered in his mind, a reminder of why he had fought so fiercely. This victory belonged to everyone who had taken a stand against darkness. With his allies at his side, Alaric knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. For now, he savored the warmth of the sun and the promise of peace, knowing that they had brought light to darkness, and with it, a future of hope.